Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So today we have payments going out to certain Social Security beneficiaries. These payments are worth up to $4,555. So we're going to be going over who's going to be receiving these payments as well as the rest of the payment schedule for this month in the month of November. Plus, of course, we have some pretty shocking election results in from yesterday in a couple different states. We're going to be going over those election results as well and what that could possibly mean for the future. And finally, we have a new CNN poll projecting the outcome of Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. And those results were pretty shocking as well, at least when you dive into the numbers. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, so first off, we are going to dive into that new poll of Biden versus Trump, that hypothetical matchup. Looks like that is going to be the case because Trump is leading the other Republican candidates by a pretty good margin. Of course, anything can happen, but right now is pretty much my best guess that it is going to be Joe Biden versus Trump unless something pretty big happens. Now, in this poll, if we look at the numbers here at the bottom of the screen, of course, Donald Trump is leading in this new poll. Once again, this is by CNN, 49% to Joe Biden's 45%. And they say here that in the potential rematch between Biden and Trump, neither candidate has much room for growth. All told, 51% of voters nationwide say there is no chance at all that they would vote for Biden, and just 4% are not currently supporting him, but say there is a chance that they will. Nearly half, 48%, say that there is no chance they will vote for Trump, and only 2% say that they aren't currently backing him, but would consider it. So we have 51% of voters there saying there's no chance at all, absolutely no chance that they would vote for Biden. Now, of course, does this mean they're going to vote for Trump? Well, not necessarily. Maybe they'll go for another candidate such as RFK Jr. We're going to get into that later. But the article goes on to say here that the Biden's support in the poll is significantly weaker now among several groups that he previously won by wide margins and were critical to his election in 2020. Among voters younger than 35, 48% support Trump, 47% Biden. Political independents break 45% to Trump and 41% to Biden. Black voters favor Biden 73% versus Trump's 23%, while Latino voters split Biden at 50% to 46% Trump. And among voters of color, generally, women divide 63% Biden to 31% Trump, while men split about evenly 49% Trump to 46% Biden. Now, the most shocking numbers in there, if you look at the numbers, among young voters, once again, younger than 35, 48% support Trump versus 47% Biden. Now, younger voters typically lean a little bit more to the left, so it is a little bit shocking there that 48% of voters younger than 35 are supporting Trump. And also, the numbers they don't show there, but actually voters older than 65 are surprisingly enough supporting Biden, which typically older voters older than 65 are typically leaning a little bit more conservative. So it's a little bit shocking there that it's kind of backwards there, where we have younger voters actually supporting a right-leaning candidate in Donald Trump, whereas we have older voters actually supporting a left-leaning candidate in Joe Biden. And of course, we actually have more support gaining for among black voters for Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is polling higher among black voters than typically Republicans have in the past. So that's good news for Trump there. And the article goes on to say that just a quarter of Americans at 25% say Biden has the stamina and sharpness to serve effectively as president, while 53% feel Trump does. Only about half of Democrats at 51% say Biden has the sharpness and stamina to serve, compared with 90% of Republicans who say that Trump does. So obviously there we have a lot more confidence in Trump among Republicans than we do with Democrats having confidence in Joe Biden. But it looks like Joe Biden is going to be the guy. I mean, the Democrats could have, a competitive re-election for Joe Biden, but Joe Biden is going to be their guy. They're not going to have him really go up against anyone. I don't know who he would be going up against anyways. I do actually have a pretty good idea who could give him a good run for his money, which we are going to be covering in just a second. But of course, the real wild card in this election may just end up being Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He is going to be planning on running as an independent. Now, what it's really going to come down to is whether or not he's going to steal more votes from Joe Biden, or is he going to steal more votes from Donald Trump. Now, RFK Jr. has mostly left-leaning policies, so therefore you would think that probably we might have some Democrats who do not have confidence in Joe Biden instead vote for RFK Jr. But of course, RFK Jr. is more popular among Republicans, so maybe they will switch from their Donald Trump vote over to RFK Jr. In my opinion, they're probably going to he's probably going to end up stealing more votes from Joe Biden, but is it really going to make a difference where Joe Biden might go from winning a state to losing a state? That we're pretty much going to have to wait and see. But let me know in the comment section below, are you planning on voting for Biden or Trump, and who do you think is going to end up winning the election in 2024? Now, yesterday we actually had some elections in a few different states, some pretty shocking results actually. The first one, of course, we had the Kentucky election for who's going to be the next governor. And according to The Hill, Democrats saw a successful election night on Tuesday, scoring wins in a number of competitive contests. In deep red Kentucky, Democratic Governor Andy Beshear sailed to re-election, while in Virginia, Democrats flipped control of the House of Delegates and maintained control of the state Senate. And then, of course, they had a vote on abortions in Ohio, and they voted to enshrine abortion rights in Ohio. So that was another win for the left in the Democratic Party. But of course, the most shocking election results there, at least in my opinion, was in Kentucky. This is a very deep red state. They always vote for Republicans. Trump won Kentucky by a pretty large margin. And yet we have a Democrat in Andy Beshear who is able to not only win once in 2019, but once again went in 2023, even after, Joe Biden is very deeply unpopular in Kentucky. Trump destroyed Joe Biden in the last election in Kentucky. But yeah, we have this Beshear guy who's able to win a statewide election and, pretty confidently. So if we're looking for, a possible future of the Democratic Party as far as a president goes, I don't know why they're not looking at this guy, because if he's able to win a deep red state in Kentucky, I think he's probably going to be the pretty obvious pick for president. I mean, if you're looking at a guy who might have the best chance, that might just be the guy. And then, of course, in Virginia, we now have Democrats controlling both the House and the Senate. There is the Republican governor, but Democrats control both chambers, so whatever laws they want to pass, they should be able to easily be able to do so. Now, in similar news, of course, today we have certain recipients of Social Security receiving their checks. It's going to be right around $1,800 on average, some more, some less, and of course, the maximum payment is going to be right around $4,555 for those who are retiring at the full retirement age. Now, if you're able to wait until the age of 70, of course, it's going to be even more. But once again, today on November 8th, there's going to be some recipients of Social Security receiving their payments. So if you look at the payment schedule up on the screen today, once again, November 8th, those payments are going to be going to those with birthdays falling between the 1st and 10th of any given month. Then next Wednesday on November 15th, there's going to be more payments going out. Those payments are going to be going to those with birthdays falling between the 11th and 20th of any given month. And then finally, the following Wednesday after that, on the 22nd of November, just a day before Thanksgiving, we have more payments going out. Those payments are going to be going to those with birthdays falling between the 21st and 31st of any given month. And then finally, we're going to have the last month of payments going out to Social Security recipients in December. SSI recipients are going to be receiving their first payment on December 1st. SSI recipients are going to be receiving yet another payment on December 29th. That payment is going to be 3.2% larger. That's going to be their January 2024 payment. And then also in December, we're going to have payments going out on December 13th, December 20th, and December 27th. So that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoy. Leave all your thoughts in comments below and all the content. Whatever your thoughts are, we'd definitely love to read them. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video.